Hello, welcome to our podcast, episode 98 on the curse of Half-Life 3. So today I wanted to talk about, Half-Life 3, the the myth, the legend, the game that may never be, because if they do it, it may end up being called like Half-Life Gordon or something, and probably be like VR only, which will suck. But you know, Half-Life Alex was great, so I mean, if it's good and comes out, I guess I can't exactly complain. I mean, I do have VR, so yeah, you know, hopefully, it'll be good. But I want to talk about, the curse of Half Life 3 and also, the fan games, because, yeah, most of them have failed. I mean, I think there's technically one exception, but it's not meant to be technically Half Life 3, but it's probably the closest thing we'll ever get to Half Life 3, like, realistically, like. So, yeah. Um, let's just begin with how this all started. So years ago, the year was like 1990, um, seven or something. I forget exactly. Um, it's been a while since I checked the date where the original Half Life came out. I mean, it's been 25 years. All I need to do is, you know, minus 25. Oh, yeah, 1999. Not 9, 8. God damn it. But yeah, 1998. God damn me. But yeah, it has been, 25 years since, Half Life, the original Half Life came out. You know, and would begin, Valve as a, company. And eventually, in, 2004, 6 years later, um, Half Life 2 would finally release. And soon after, um, Valve would begin doing episodic stuff. First would be like Lost Coast, which was like 2005, I think. Um, then there was episode 1 being 2006. And then finally episode 2 with the Orange Box in 2007. A great year for video gaming. I mean, 2004 was also, a great year for gaming. Both of those were basically like golden years for gaming. But yeah, yeah. So, Half Life 2, Episode 2, spoiler warning, ends on a cliffhanger and leaves with the fate of Eli Vance being dead. But if you've seen the ending of Alex, things have changed. Yeah, again, spoiler warning. Um, he came alive again. He undied. He um, unalived, I guess. But yeah, so yeah. multiple, years passed between, 2007 and 2020, where the fate of Half-Life 3 was unknown, and Half-Life 3, any of them that were developed, were basically in development hell. From what can be gathered, like, a lot of it was, hell. But, you know, eventually, Valve made Alex, and, the story continues, even if it's only a tiny, tiny bit, technically. I mean, the whole game's its own story, but we most of the people are playing probably, well, I mean, they would care, but not care as much. They really want to be like, where's Half-Life 3? Where's Half-Life 3? This ain't Half-Life 3, but, it's hinting to Half-Life 3. And now it's 2024, and still, so far at time of recording, I'm recording this in 2023, in the last days of 2023, because today's the 30th, so not much longer to go until 2024. But yeah, um, yeah, no mention of Half-Life 3 so far, or Half-Life Gordon, or anything. Like, if it does get announced, it'll be announced out of the blue, and it'll be like only a short time away. Like, probably like how Alex happened. Like, they'll only announce it once it's ready. Otherwise, they're not going to announce it, because, what's happened in the past, where it takes, over a decade for a new Half-Life game. So, yeah. So, if the same case follows, it's probably going to be a decade away. Like, it'll be 2033 before it comes out. Like, yeah. God, we're probably going to have to wait a long time for Half-Life 3. And also, it's a year with two threes, so, it's kind of, it'd be ironic, because, 13 years from 2007 to 2020, that's why I chose, 2033 as, the example, because, another 13 years. And it's a year with two threes, so it's just perfect. It's the year of the three. Yeah, Half-Life 3 is probably going to release then. Realistically, that's how long it's going to take. God damn. But yeah, Half-Life 3 is cursed, and most likely will never release, or will release under a different title, like Half-Life Gordon, which is what I anticipate, but I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. Either way, Half-Life 3, is in hell. But then there are the fan games. So, fan games fall into two categories usually, except the one exception that I'll talk about, afterwards. There's rush it, and it'll be a terrible continuation to the story, like, you know, um, like Arctic Adventures, I think, was one that tried, and others that have tried to be, Half-Life 3, but kind of made terribly, and don't really, conclude the story, you know, well enough, you know. And then there's the other half, the Half-Life 3s that seem to show some promise, but usually get stuck in development hell, like Project Borealis and others that have existed over the years that never seem to end up ever getting completed. And yeah, like those ones, seem to show a lot of promise, but take way, way too long. Like, you know, I know developing a game can be hard, and usually there's not many people on these teams, but yeah, going for like a whole full blown, continuation for a story, which for most of them will be like a first project sort of thing, like even if it shows promise, it is a lot of work, and ambition, can sometimes be the greatest killer of a game. I mean, you know, look at, despite I don't want to use this as an example because of, Yandere, but Yandere Simulator, you know, a game with a lot of ambition, but really hasn't gone too far with its main, thing because it's too ambitious. And the dev has now shown their true colors. I mean, they've always been, a bit strange and, but so far, they, up until, a point, they hadn't done anything so terrible that, it crosses, the red line. But, with what recently, happened with them potentially, grooming and dating a minor, yeah, they're gone past the red line. I wish the best to anyone else that, has worked on, the game, but, most of them are probably gone now, you know, like, like, Yandev's gonna need, you know, you know, probably new voice actors if he can get any. Um, Not to mention how many lines are left, the main character, Yano, how many would need to be re-recorded for, a new voice actor. It would take a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money, and, at this point, Jan Sim is dead, basically. Like, you know, I mean, they are, the fan, modding, mods have done a better job of, completing the game than, the actual game developer. Like, mods are great. And don't blame, the people that are modding the game because they're just doing it out of passion. But I'm sure some of them may just leave, doing it anymore just because of the reputation now associated with, Yandev. So, yeah, it really sucks, because there was a lot of potential to, the game, and, if done well, it could have been an actually, like, good game, but nonetheless, it'll never come out. But yeah, I'm not here to talk about Yandere Sim, although I kind of am now, so yeah, again, I guess this is just another double episode. The Curse of Half-Life 3 and Yandere Simulator. So yeah, but yeah, because I don't think I've talked about Yansim, have I? I can't remember. I'll check that. But anyway, let me continue to talk about Half-Life 3. So yeah, so either then the purgatory state or um or they're just outright you know bad Half-Life 3 iterations, like yeah, but yeah. But as I said, there's one exception, and to my knowledge, this is kind of like the only exception that I really know to, you know, the rule of cursed Half-Life 3s, but then again, it's not supposed to be technically um, a Half-Life 3, but might as well be the closest thing in a long time being Entropy Zero 2. Now, the first Entropy Zero, had its good moments, but sort of you know, um, gets weaker in the second half. Still pretty good, and definitely recommend playing the original Entropy Zero. But Entropy Zero 2 really, shows that, sequels, are often better than prequels. Obviously, there's exceptions, there always will be, but most of the time, the second of a thing usually does better than the first. And Entropy Zero 2 is a prime example of that, and is the closest thing to a Half-Life 3 that we've gone, in a while, other than like Half-Life Alex, but, it's debatable if that one counts, but yeah. If we're going strictly by the logic of, fan games, Entropy Zero 2 might as well be, Half-Life 3 or the closest thing to it because it's fun, it's engaging, it has, you know, good puzzles, good sections. Um, I forget the puzzles. I mean, some of them. Uh, I mean, like Half Life doesn't always have the most puzzles, but the things you could technically call um, puzzles, you know, usually you know, are good. I mean, it doesn't have the horrible puzzles that were in Entropy Zero 1, so yeah. Yeah. The developer definitely learned from their mistakes, and Entropy Zero 2 is so great, I did a playthrough of it, as Michael, and yeah, it was pretty fun, all the time through. Although I didn't realize how to get the good ending, so Michael ended up just getting the bad endings, basically, you know, nothing but the bad endings. Because I did kick at the grub, like, or the container of the grub, but I didn't realize you have to really kick the grub. Like, you have to kick it. Like, I messed up, and yeah. So the series left on the bad endings. I'll have to probably have to go through all the game again with Wilson to try and get the good ending, because I doubt I have my saves, because I don't remember if I did it on my old computer, my current computer, but if I did do it on my old computer, I it's gonna be fun trying to do the whole game again. But the only reason I would do that all again is if Entropy 03, comes out. So yeah. Hopefully it'll be a while away, but also hopefully not too long away. And hopefully it doesn't get stuck in, development hell if it is going to happen, because Entropy 03, with, the Borealis, might as well be, basically, Half-Life 3, uh, it'll basically be, the equivalent of, Half-Life 3. But yeah, I guess, yeah, that's the curse of Half-Life 3. When will it come out? Who will be the one to, make, something that is worthy of being called Half-Life 3? I would argue that would be Entropy 02, but, um, that could be debatable, but, yeah, yeah, that is the curse. As for, Yandere Sim, I'll probably, enjoy the game, but as soon as the game comes, like, paid or something, I'm no longer, going to be playing it, which will suck, but, it is what it is. You know, eventually I won't be able to enjoy, the Yansim anymore, like, which, it's kind of a shame, because I'm always of the opinion that a work of art is separate from its creator. I mean, look at Jack Bright, the character, versus Jack Bright, the author. It's a very, similar case. I love Jack Bright, the character, so, obviously I've kept, Jack Bright alive as a character, but, the author, not a great person. So, yeah, Yon Sim is a really good game, but the, creator is bad. So, yeah, I'm always of the opinion that, art, kind of, transcends the author. Like, the author may have made it, but, in the end, once it's out there, once it's public, anyone can, take it and reinterpret it, reinterpret the art piece, people will, redo, the Mona Lisa in different ways, people will redo Starry Night in different ways, once it's out there, it's no longer, technically yours. Obviously, you're the creator. It's always technically your creation, but ideas technically, you know, you know, no one owns the concept of ideas. So, yeah, you know, like anyone can take your ideas, and, reiterate to make their own things. As long as, they're not directly stealing my stuff, you know, you know, it's fine, you know, you know, you could equally make something, you know, similar to like Living Darkness, from my series, you know, and just, call it something else that may be similar, but, I don't, own the concept of darkness. you know, Living Darkness is just a combination of, different maps like the Devouring, the Noir, or also games like Alan Wake with the dark present. There's a lot of things that has been added on to the Living Darkness over time. Like, so yeah, but yeah, but yeah, but yeah. You can take those ideas, but reiterate. Just don't directly, steal my videos. Like, seriously, that would be, a douche move. Like, I guess you could technically make a parody of, like, Michael or, any of my other characters. I guess that wouldn't, matter because it's, obviously a parody. Like, huh, someone made a parody. It's kind of funny. Just all I would want is, at least credit me, at least give me some credit for, being the person, that created them in the first place. At least give me some credit. That's all I want. Like, if you are going to copy me, give me some credit, you know, because yeah, sure, it's our own ideas, but you also took, if you're doing like a parody or a reiteration, like it's also my ideas, which was someone else's idea, but in the days of YouTube and all that, credit is important, credit the authors. So yeah, all I want is some credit as well because I was the one to create this specific order of ideas. Sure, they were other people's ideas technically, but I'm the one that placed the dominoes in this specific order, so at least credit me for being the one that made that pattern. you know I guess that's why there's patterns on certain things, like you know you know you know making a copyright on certain patterns because you don't want you know people to copy your exact pattern. They've got to make their own pattern. you know it can be similar, but not exactly the same. you know but yeah, copyright and stealing and all that is its own whole other thing. you know Something that would be good for a different video. But yeah, anyway, yeah, that would be it on the curse of Half-Life 3 and Yandere Sim. one is a good game, and one is a cursed ongoing cycle. So yeah. Anyway, thank you all for watching the Owl Podcast, and peace until next time.